Hello students of class 11. Again we are here to know something more about the chapter Plant Kingdom. Today our learning objectives are what is CHLOROPHYTA, what is algae and the general account of chlorophyta. In the last lesson we have learnt about the CHLOROPHYTA. Can you remember it? Yes. The CHLOROPHYTA means what? The group of plant or their body is not divided into root, stem and leaf-like structure. That group of plant is called as the CHLOROPHYTA. The meaning of the word CHLOROPHYTA is that phyta means the plant body and thalo or thalos means the young shoot, where the whole plant body is not divided into root, stem and leaf-like structure. Now the CHLOROPHYTA mainly include the algae. Have you seen the algae here and there or in your surrounding? In the moist area or near the water bodies or in different water bodies, you can see some greenish, reddish, brownish or blue-greenish color substances on the water, and that is also very much slippery. This structure is considered as the algae. They are included under the plant kingdom. Why are they included under the plant kingdom? The basic criteria is that they are also green in color. That means what? They have chlorophyll. And as they have chlorophyll, they also can make their own food. That means they are also they have also autotrophic mode of nutrition. So here we will see some of the characteristics of algae. First of all, algae are chlorophyll bearing unicellular and multicellular member of CHLOROPHYTA. So the first criteria is that the cells have chlorophyll within them and they can be unicellular, like the member of Chlamydomonas, the chlorella, they are unicellular algae. Some of them are also multicellular structure. On the basis of chlorophyll present in algae, they are categorized in different division like chlorophyta, phaeophyta, rhodophyta. But before that, we have to know some more information about algae. So as all of us already see algae growing in our surrounding, and they are quite different from the large plants that we can see in our surrounding. So their habitat, that means mostly they are found in water. They can be fresh water in nature or they can also grow in the sea water, or they can be also marine. They can be free floating or they remain attached to some other substances. In case of marine algae, the free floating marine algae, they are also called as the phytoplankton. Sometimes they remain at the bottom of the water bodies, and the bottom dwellers algae are called as the benthos. When they remain at the bottom of the water bodies, they can attach on the surface of the stone. If they are attached on the surface of the stone, they are called as the epilithic. When they remain attached on the surface of the sand, they are called as the epipelic. And if they remain attached on the surface of the plants, then they are called as the epiphytic. And if they remain attached on the surface of the animal's body, they are called as the epizoic. That is about the habitat of the algae. But what kind of structure they have? Already here you can see that they can be unicellular as well as multicellular. The unicellular algae may have flagella, and with the help of the flagella they can move. That means the unicellular member can be motile. The example is Chlamydomonas. Whereas some of the unicellular algae do not have flagella. So as they don't have flagella, they cannot move on their own. The example of this type of algae, that is non-motile unicellular member, is the chlorella. Both of them, that is Chlamydomonas and chlorella, both of them all belong to Chlorophyta. Multicellular structure, when made up of many cells arranged one after another and make a long chain-like structure. This long chain-like structure is called as the tripod. When this long chain-like structure is surrounded by a mucilaginous sheath, it is called as filament. So, these are the different types of multicellular form that we can see over here. Now we will talk about the division Chlorophyta, and that time we can see more other features of different types of. Here we are getting the general features of the division Chlorophyta. Whenever we will study the different divisions of the Chlorophyta, we divide them according to some of the criteria or some of the features. When we will study Chlorophyta, we will consider these features. When we will study Phaeophyta, Rhodophyta, at the same time, that time also we will consider all these features. Let's see about the general features of Chlorophyta. The first one is habitat. The members of Chlorophyta or the algae which belong to Chlorophyta, they are found mainly in fresh water and very rarely in seawater. The most common freshwater member is called as the pond scum or pond silk, and the scientific name is, yes, you know it, it is Spirogyra. Now what is the vegetative structure? Before we go to the vegetative structure, can you tell me how can we divide the algae in the division Chlorophyta? Depending on the pigment composition, what kind of pigment they have, different algae have different colors. Some of them brown color, some of them red in color, some of them blue-green in color, and some of them are blue in color. So, the Chlorophyta, commonly they are called as the green algae because they have the chlorophyll that make the color of the algae green. Now we will know about the vegetative structure as well as the pigment composition of the green algae. So what kind of vegetative structure we can see over here? They have very simple vegetative structure, or that can be very complex also. The simple vegetative structure that already I have told just now, that is unicellular. Unicellular member can be motile. Example is Chlamydomonas. So students, here we have the examples of different types of algae. First of all, the unicellular member of Chlorophyta, the Chlamydomonas. The example is Chlamydomonas. It is made up of a single cell and it has two flagella. They can be non-motile. The example is Chlorella. They can be colonial also. That means many unicellular members are surrounded by a single mucilaginous sheath and make it colonial. And the example of colonial form is volvox. The next example is the colonial member of Chlorophyta, the volvox. Volvox is the colonial member of Chlorophyta. Here you can see the picture. It is the parent colony. The parent colony is also called as synobium. Inside the parent colony, the daughter colony, these are the daughter colony which are present. That means by the daughter colony or during the reproduction time, the daughter colony gives rise to the large mature colony. Inside the volvox colony, many cells are present and the cells are pear-shaped. Each and every cells are connected to each other by the cytoplasmic strands, and the whole structure is surrounded by a mucilaginous sheath. They can be also motile and non-motile. Here I am giving you the example of the motile colony. The example is volvox. I am giving you a task. Find out the name of the non-motile colony. Next, we will know about the multicellular form. When many cells, rectangular shaped, oval shaped, or what kind of shape they have, square shaped, when many cells of the same shape are arranged one after another and also surrounded by a mucilaginous sheath, then that structure is called as the filamentous structure. The example is Spirogyra. There are some other examples also like Utogonium, like Trentipolia, etc. They also have the filamentous structure. Now we will see the multicellular form of Chlorophyta. Spirogyra is the example of the multicellular algae or multicellular Chlorophyta. Here you can see the picture of Spirogyra. From this picture you can understand that it is made up of many cells, and cells are of rectangular shaped. Many cells arranged one after another and form the filament. Here you can see outline is there, that is the cell wall, and inside the cell wall some spiral shaped structure, green color structures are present. The spiral shaped green color structures are nothing but the chloroplast. The nucleus cannot be understood very well, but nucleus is also present inside each and every rectangular shaped cells. Now we will know about the components of the cell wall. So they are the simplest, algae are the simplest member of the plant kingdom. So basically their cell wall is made up of cellulose. In some other groups we will find out some other components, but here the cell wall is made up of cellulose. What kind of pigment present in the green algae? Chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B. These two types of chlorophylls are present and they are responsible for the green color of the algae. In addition to this, some other pigments are also present like carotenoids. Carotenoids means what? Carotene and xanthophyll. The red color and orange color pigments together called as the carotenoids, and they are also present in this group of algae. So as they have the chlorophyll, they can make their own food by the process of photosynthesis that occurs in higher group of plants also. After photosynthesis, they produce carbohydrate type of food, and that is mainly starch. But the reserve food in case of Chlorophyta member is called as a pyrenoid. What is this pyrenoid? Pyrenoid is a proteinaceous structure and also that contains starch. Protein is present at the center and it is surrounded by layer of starch. So their reserve food is pyrenoid that contain both starch and protein. Now we have to talk about the way by which they reproduce. The member of Chlorophyta can be reproduced in three ways: vegetative reproduction, asexual mode of reproduction, as well as sexual mode of reproduction. The vegetative reproduction occurs by the process of fragmentation. You can see the filamentous algae, which are aquatic, present in pond water, in fresh water sources. Those algae, the long filaments can be ruptured or broken by the water current. And as a result, what happens? The small fragments again mature, grows into a long filament. In this way, from a small fragments, many long filaments can be formed. This is the way of vegetative reproduction by fragmentation process that we can see in case of Spirogyra. The next one is asexual mode of reproduction. In Chlorophyta, we can see the asexual mode of reproduction. The asexual mode of reproduction can be possible in three ways: by zoospores, by aplanospores, and by the achaenates. There are also some other ways, but these three are very important. These are the structures of the zoospores. What are zoospores? The zoospores are the motile asexual spore that produced within the zoosporangium. We will talk about asexual reproduction by aplanospore. What is aplanospore? During unfavorable condition, non-motile spores with prominent cell wall are produced. These are called as the aplanospore. You can see from the picture that within a cell of the filament, the non-motile round-shaped aplanospores is produced. Now another way of asexual mode of reproduction is by achaenate. What are achaenates? These are the thick-walled elongated spores. These are thick-walled elongated spores formed during dry condition from the vegetative cells of some filamentous algae. So you can see here one of the cell of the filament is totally changed into achaenate. It becomes resting stage, or in the resting stage the thick cell wall is formed. It stores food inside it, and during unfavorable condition achaenates are produced, and when the favorable condition comes, that time these spores germinate and give rise to the new filament. We can see it in the member of Oedogonium. Here again I am talking about aplanospore. Aplanospore. A means absence. Plano means motile stage. So motile stage is absent here. You can see the aplanospores are non-motile. They are non-flagellated structure. Whereas we can see in case of zoospores, they are the motile spores. Aplanospores are the non-motile spores. Both of them are produced within a cell, whereas the achaenates are also non-motile, but here the whole cell is changed into a thick wall structure, and that is called as the resting spore or achaenate. In these three ways, mainly in these three ways, the member of Chlorophyta reproduce asexually. Now we will talk about the sexual mode of reproduction. There are three ways by which the member of Chlorophyta reproduce sexually. Those are isogamy or isogamous type, anisogamy or anisogamous type, and oogamy or oogamous type of sexual reproduction. Now we have to know what is isogamy, what is anisogamy, and what is oogamy. In case of sexual reproduction, we know that two gametes are required. In case of sexual reproduction, two gametes are required. Out of these two gametes, one is considered as the male gamete and another one is considered as the female gamete. In lower group of algae or in the very primitive member of the chlorophyta member, the female and the male gametes cannot be differentiated in some other ways, but only the structurally differences can be seen in some cases. In isogamous type of sexual reproduction, we see that in sexual reproduction two gametes are required. Here you can see also the fusion of two gametes. Iso means similar. So gametes which are fused with each other, they are similar in size, structure, or we can see that they are morphologically similar to each other. So what is isogamy? The union of two morphologically similar gametes is called as the isogamy or isogamous type of sexual reproduction. The example is Spirogyra. This type of sexual reproduction where both the gametes are morphologically identical to each other is seen in the member of Spirogyra. Next one is anisogamous type of sexual reproduction or anisogamy. Aniso, that means where the gametes are not similar to each other. In anisogamous type of sexual reproduction, two gametes are fused to each other, but those are structurally dissimilar to each other. But both of them are motile, and we can see this type of reproduction in collared pa. The example is collared pa. Next one is oogamy or oogamous type of sexual reproduction. Here it is also another type of anisogamous type of sexual reproduction where male gametes are comparatively smaller in size as well as they are flagellated, that means they are motile in nature, whereas the female gametes are larger in size, non-motile and non-flagellated. Both of them fuse to each other and help in sexual mode of reproduction. The larger size female gamete, non-motile female gamete, is also called as the egg, whereas the small sized motile flagellated male gamete is called as the spermatozoid or antherozoid. Example is Oedogonium. So these are the few members of chlorophyta where we can see isogamy, anisogamy and oogamy type of sexual reproduction. So from today's lesson, we have gotten clear idea about the members of the division chlorophyta. Next day we will discuss about pheophyta. Till then, learn this portion and I will give you one assignment. Do that one and we will meet once again.